Hi, listeners. This is a quick thank you for listening and for your ongoing support. If you're enjoying the program, please consider clicking the follow or subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It really helps us out. There's no better way to support us than doing that or sharing the show with a friend, colleague, family member, or any new or expecting parent in your life. It's totally appreciated. On with the show. Hi, I'm Sarah Trott, and welcome to the Fourth Trimester Podcast. I'm a new mama, and this podcast is all about postpartum care for the first few months following birth, the time period also known as the fourth trimester. My postpartum doula, Esther Gallagher, is my co-host. She's a mother, grandmother, perinatal educator, birth and postpartum care provider. Fourth trimester care, our topic, is about the practical, emotional, and social support parents and baby require. And importantly, it helps set the tone for the continuing journey of parenting. Hi, this is Sarah Trott from the Fourth Trimester Podcast, and I'm here with my co-host, Esther Gallagher. Hi, Esther.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Sarah.
We are here with a special guest, Miki Agrawal, who is the founder of Hero Diapers and the creative force behind lots of brands like Thinx and Tushy. And she is definitely on a mission in the realm of sustainable parenting. And that's our topic today. We're talking about sustainable parenting and diapering as one aspect of that, but we will talk about other things parents can do to be a little more earth friendly and earth conscious. It's a passionate subject for many people. It's something we care a lot about too. So we are just super excited. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Miki, in your own words.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here with you both. It's so fun. Yeah, I guess I've been sort of really focused on solving personal hygiene issues and offering a elevated experience for both people and the planet. And so I started, my first business was a restaurant, actually created the first gluten-free farm to table pizza restaurant in New York City. And this year marks my 20-year anniversary. I opened it when I was 10 years old, just kidding. And yeah, we were the first to support local farms and do the farm to table thing. And it was, and I learned very early on how to meet people where they are and talk with them in a way that really they felt understood versus shaming someone to try something eco or better, because that never works. So I learned very, very early on how to, bring people on this journey to a better world that's much more fun and delightful and better for your experience and for the planet. So after that, I started Thinx, the period-proof underwear that has helped millions of women period better, and also great for post-pregnant and pregnant women that you can, bleed into your underwear and or use it as backup, and it just washes out. And we've helped divert hundreds of millions of tampons, pads, and applicators from landfills, which is really exciting. And we've helped millions of girls go back to school in Uganda and in Africa by providing every pair of underwear that we sold. We actually funded a local Ugandan company that made washable cloth pads. And so we just helped them grow their business. We actually created an empowerment model instead of a welfare model. We're just giving away free stuff to like local people who then they now can't actually become empowering, self-serving members of their society. And so we found a local company, Uganda, that made washable cloth pads, and we funded their company. So when we started working with them, they had like 25 employees, and now they have like hundreds, which is pretty cool. And then I started Tushy, the modern bidet that washes your butt clean after you poop. It's also really great for post-pregnant moms. And, when you're really chapped and sore down there, it's such a soothing, gentle spray. It's really nice. It's, fresh water for your butt. And down there, not even just for your butt, but for just down there. And it's also great when you have young kids. Like my son, Hero, was actually potty trained pretty early and used the bidet immediately. He would call it Tushy time, and he would just like let me spray his butt. So I didn't even have to wipe his butt. It was really nice. And then, yeah, then I had my son Hero in 2017 and just was going through 20 diapers a day because he had such bad diaper rash. I did the whole cloth diaper thing. I know, Esther, you're definitely a goddess for having gone through the cloth diapering, but I tried that, and I was recovering from my C-section and bending over and cleaning. It was too much for my system. And so I just tried the bamboo diapers and they don't work. They're actually totally greenwash and they're bleach, whatever, they're full of bleach. And then I went back to conventional diapers because I just needed high performing diaper that just did the job. And then I was going through 20 diapers a day and then was just like ridden with guilt and just went to Google to just understand the size of like the waste and discovered that every baby goes through up to 6,000 diapers in their lifetime. And every diaper takes 400 to 500 years to break down. And, the very first disposable diaper is still in a landfill somewhere today. So, if Shakespeare wore diapers, they'd be in a landfill today. It's like crazy. To give you a visual understanding, the number of diapers that end up in landfills every year globally could circle the earth 1,500 times per year. And you can imagine every year since the beginning of diapers, it's really painful. And now, when we throw something away, you're like, it's away. But now that plastic, which by the way, 91% of plastic is not being recycled, it's put in your landfills and oceans and being incinerated or mismanaged, ending up in our rivers, and now inside our brains, bodies, and babies' umbilical cords. I mean, plastic is found like a lot, microplastics. And so really we're just, wow, like what is the solution to the global plastic crisis? There was really nothing at the time. And so I remember, I started taking what I call Friday thinking days, where I didn't take calls or meetings on Fridays, where I just allow for creative ideas to download. I get to just be in like the presence of nature. And on a Friday thinking day, I was just like looking at the window at a tree and I was just like, oh my God, breast milk is considered liquid gold because it's full of nutrients, right? And so baby poop must be fertilizer gold. In fact, it's gold. It's like a yellow golden poop. And we're throwing billions of pounds of this in the trash every day. Like whoa, like we're using pig poop and cow poop to fertilize our food, but we're not harnessing our own beautiful mama fed baby golden, fertilizer for good. And so when I was asking myself, like, what could potentially break down plastic fertilized by the baby poop? And since I'm in the poop business, I think about this. And so as I was asking myself what could break down plastics, my son Hiro comes running into my room. Hiro, so he spells Japanese. It means abundant and generous in Japanese. I'm half Japanese. And he came running into my room and he pointed to a book in my nightstand, which is actually this book. I happen to have it on my table. And it was like in my nightstand in my bedroom, which by the way, had no business being there. It was like given to me at a conference, years before. And it somehow traveled from my like downstairs library where it was like tucked somewhere. And this book made its way to my bedroom on my thinking day when I was like, what could break down plastic? And my son comes running into my room, points to this book while saying Pachamama, which means Mother Earth. And I pull out this book. It's called Pacha's Pajamas. And on page 31, it says fungi can break down plastic.
Yeah.
Right when I asked myself, what could break down plastic? The child of the universe comes in, points to a book, and gives me the answer. It was like the most divine intervention moment. Like it was like a divine moment. And then from that moment, we were like, oh my God, fungi that can break down plastic. And then I then dove deep into the fungal kingdom and discovered the magical kingdom that literally has been around since for over 1 billion years and has been breaking down the trees and animals and everything and returning it back to the earth, decomposer fungi. And, there are thousands of strains that have been known to break down. Yeah, we then brought in the Ocean's 11 of like the top PhDs in mycology, microremediation, biology, chemistry, bioreactor engineers, diaper engineers, like the best of the best entrepreneurs, engineers, and scientists to create truly the best and only unbleached diaper on the market that comes with these little fungi pouches that can basically break down the diaper after it's done being used. So there's no, and by the way, these fungi are friendly. They're culinary grade, non-toxic, super beneficial. You know how inside of our bodies we have a microbiome? We also have a mycobiome inside of our bodies. And so anyways, yeah, that's a long-winded version of, all the things I've done, but yeah, how it works really quickly is as you're taking the soiled diaper off the baby, either poop or pee diaper, you just take one of these pouches, the whole thing, you just drop it in the diaper and you close it and you throw it away, and that's
And
it,
for audio listeners, I just wanna describe it. That little pouch that she's talking about, it looks like a little 2-inch by 2-inch piece of paper.
like a tea bag, like a little mini. Yeah, and you just drop the whole thing inside the diaper and you throw it away, and in a couple of weeks, the fungi will wake up, fertilized by the baby's poop or pee, and will start to grow, and then the whole vision is that it'll scaffold around the diaper. We've experienced this in our lab that, the diaper in our lab under the best conditions, literally, we saw it return to the earth in under 6 months. But, obviously in outside conditions, it depends on the conditions, but it will literally, return to the earth in a fraction of the time. And so, yeah, we're really thinking about the overall ecosystem. And, one of the things that happens when you become a new parent is, it's that one-way doorway from maiden to mother, bachelor to father. And you go through this, like, experience of this I, me consciousness into an us, we consciousness, but oftentimes that doesn't include the planet. It includes just their family and your unit and what's your house and what's inside your house and all the ingredients and healthy things in your house, but not, like, what is the ecosystem that my kid is gonna grow up in? Like, what is the overall world that I'm leaving my kid with? Like, what is all the trash I'm punting to their generation? Like, what's gonna happen to that? And so it really is on our generation, now that we know that there's a plastic crisis on our hands, like, we have to find creative solutions to solve for it. And, we've tuned into nature, the greatest, technology of our time, to help us solve this problem.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I imagine this little diapers journey going into the trash can, et cetera, et cetera. But then it's gonna land in a landfill potentially. Have you had a chance to do any sort of follow-up to see does this scaffolding mycorrhiza scaffold onto then other trash in the
That's vision.
landfill to start helping break down the rest of it?
Yeah, that's our big, big vision, is that, and obviously this is in an aerobic environment. A lot of trash is in an anaerobic environment underground.
Yeah.
And so when it's underground, the fungi still work, they're just way slower, and sometimes
Mm,
there's completely no oxygen. They actually can survive without oxygen, but we've been testing them in aerobic environments.
mhm,
We're looking to create a biodegradability claim in an aerobic landfill environment.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
which
is part of the
better.
problem, which I will just say, Miki's just pointed to the fact that one of the problems with landfills is that they become anaerobic, and
Yeah,
so things that would have broken down, for instance, newspaper, right? Perfectly biodegradable stuff, especially old stuff, but landfills have been dug down into, and turn of the century newspaper stacks that have gotten no air haven't had a chance to turn back into soil because they're just being laid on top of. And so, for those of you who have any interest in permaculture or sustainability or changing the world, put that in your thinker because we are going to have to change how we do landfill
100.
someday. If
Also,
not, yeah.
one big thing is that, almost 25% of landfill waste is food scraps and just, like, food that people throw away. And
Mhm.
so, just getting a simple composter, like, I have an electric composter that you just put all your food scraps in. I've cut down my trash by 25%, which is so
Mhm.
much. And, we're eventually gonna create a plastic can that you can just put our fungi into that can, like, break the plastic down directly. Like, that's our really big vision as well, to have an at-home plastic composter, which would be really, really cool.
Mhm.
But that's in
Down
time. right now we have, like, first, the very best, the cleanest unbleached diaper. Like, we actually remove the that blue line, we call it the toxic blue line because it goes from yellow to blue, and that bromothymol or bromophenol blue line is not even allowed in adult cosmetics, let alone in a baby diaper. Baby diapers are, like, one of the most unregulated categories in the country because there's so much lobbying to just make them with bleach and processed crap and putting it on our brand new baby's absorbent skin, and now adding this, like, toxic blue line so the line can change from yellow to blue the minute that they pee a little bit. It basically signals the parent to change the diaper faster, so it actually makes the parent go through more diapers faster versus tuning into your baby's cues. So one of the things that we're doing at Hero is we're teaching parents elimination communication, which is a tool to get your babies out of diapers in 12 to 18 months instead of 3, 4, 5 years that babies are in diapers now. Like for us, like we know people need diapers, but we're a regenerative company. Like we want to actually have you use the least amount, like just what you need, and we'll teach you how to get out of diapers faster. If you want to cloth during the day, but then wear these out or to sleep, like that's also a great way to cut down your consumption, but you're still not even having to clean the mess all the time. It's helpful for when you're traveling or going out or whatever during the day. And so we're trying to find ways, like one of our core tenets at Hero that we're doing that we're so excited about is replacing the whole reduce, reuse, recycle model because recycling takes so much like process and energy, and actually 91% of plastic is not even being recycled, so it's kind of BS. And even reusing does require a lot of energy of washing, like there's a lot of energy required to reuse too, even if it's better than just throwing away single-use stuff. It actually from a net impact, there's still a lot of resource being used to reuse something. And so for us, like we looked at that model deeply and replaced it from reduce, reuse, recycle to reduce, regenerate. Reduce, regenerate. So reduce your consumption. We're going to help you reduce your consumption by teaching you elimination communication, how to get out of diapers faster, to learn the cues of your baby, to take out the bromothymol blue, toxic blue line that you don't need, that you can just like literally get to know your baby's cues and have a much closer relationship to your baby. And then if you're going to use a product, use a regenerative product that braids with nature, that actually tunes in with nature, that partners with nature, like Hero has. And so yeah, we're really like on the mission to, ask all projects who are underway to like think about, is there a way to partner with nature in a way that feels so much more generative, regenerative for the next generation?
That's great. I just want to circle back on the old reduce waste, food
Mhm.
waste,
Yeah,
right? And of course, in San Francisco, we do have green bins, and you throw your garden and food waste into those green bins, which is
right,
great. And we're in a big city, right? So people have, if they have any outdoor space attached to their
right,
living space, it's on the smaller side. But I recently, well, sometime in the last 5 years, read a little article about if people kept one outdoor chicken, like a backyard chicken per person in the household, they'd get enough eggs to eat eggs, basically every day of the year. And they would reduce their food waste by a ton because chickens love
right.
almost anything you can put in their pen. You don't have to feed them grains necessarily.
Well, if you
Uh,
the
you
food scrap,
probably want to give, yeah. And if you have a lot of protein scraps going into your food waste, then they often are getting plenty of protein as well, which is, if you're going to make eggs or babies,
yeah.
you need protein. So it does sound like a wild idea for most people, but it's not that challenging. It's actually not that challenging, and there are people who know how to make really great, healthy, not stinky chicken coops for backyards to help you set it up. So, if you're concerned about food waste, think about a backyard chicken or 2 or
And
3.
bees are actually pretty chill. My friend has a
And
beehive in here.
bees,
Yeah, or so without bees, we're all dead, by the way. Yeah, yeah. So we need bees.
yes, we do. which
Yeah,
means we need flowers, which means we need compostable diapers to feed the flowers.
there you go. Yeah, it's really
Hey, listeners, great news. We've partnered with Every Mother, your go to destination for evidence based and on demand exercise therapy regimens. Whether you're dealing with diastasis recti, preparing for birth, or navigating postpartum recovery, Every Mother has your back. With personalized daily routines tailored to your core and pelvic floor needs, they're here to support you every step of the way. Say hello to a stronger, healthier you with Every Mother. Visit fourthtrimesterpodcast.com/everymother for 10% off your personalized express exercise routine. The discount link is also on our deals page alongside lots of other amazing exclusive discounts and deals. Again, it's fourthtrimesterpodcast.com with fourth spelled out FOURTH.
it's a whole regenerative cycle, and we have just lost the connection. It's like we live in this like this again, we call it like a toxic individualism mentality of just like me, and it's like actually if you consider the ecosystem, you will be stronger and your baby will be stronger and your family will be stronger if the entire ecosystem is strong. It's so obvious and yet we've just been disconnected. I think one of the things that we're so excited why we're teaching elimination communication is because it's also one of the first moments a baby starts to override its natural desire to not poop themselves. Like babies actually don't want to. Like they do it when they're not being listened
Given
to.
no choice.
They have no choice. And so they actually don't want to poop on the parent. They don't want to poop their diapers. They don't want to poop on themselves. And so they make all the sounds and then the parents are like, "Oh, they're just pooping." But we've just normalized that, and then they learn to override themselves by just saying like, "I guess no one's listening. I'm just gonna override my natural instinct to not wanna poop myself. I'm just gonna poop myself now," and just make that's just normal, and now it's gonna be hard to get me out of pooping myself. And so it's just like, again, remembering our connection to ourselves, not to override our natural instincts to connect with nature, to be in nature, to not be afraid of nature. So many city people don't really, San Francisco very different and California people very different, but so many city people are quite disconnected. And so it's about, one of the things we're so excited to do at Hero is create this program called New Paradigm Parent. So we're creating this whole new paradigm parenting program that's going to teach parents who are on the Hero's Journey with us, who have joined our Hero's Journey subscription. Basically, they're going to get monthly free master classes on permaculture, on herbalism, on composting, on creating cleaning products so you can easily clean all your surface areas with food grade cleaning products. Like how to not have to get those squeeze packs that, by the way, have so much microplastics in them, but you
Oh,
actually
and
just
also dentists don't like them. Dentists, they're like, no, it's not good for the bite.
yeah, and then you just get a little grinder that you can carry in your bag everywhere you go. You can grind your adult food and give it to your baby. It's totally fine. And so there's so many practices that we've just kind of it was like the practices that people used to do for thousands of years that we've just commercialized and commercialized and commercialized and commercialized more stuff, more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. And it's not serving the actual connection between
We
parents.
actually have a baby food grinder in our own body, and it's called our teeth in our mouth. And one of the ways that we transfer positive bacteria and enzymes to our small babies, 6 months and older, is to chew their food and give it to them. So
Amazing.
it's not that I object to a fancy little grinder that you carry around in your pocket, but if you don't have active herpes or,
Right.
there are some limitations, but generally speaking,
You
can you
just
imagine
yeah,
babies, 2,000 years ago?
I
They
know.
just ate what their
Yes,
mom put in
right.
there. Right.
Yeah,
So, and I think one of the things, unfortunately, that drives a lot of the commerce and it's reciprocal is we're taught to be super anxious about our bodies and about germs,
right.
right? And hyper intolerant of the idea of germs and the reality of germs. But most germs are important to our immune systems, and sharing those germs amongst each other is
For sure.
how we grow a healthy immune system. I've repeated this on the podcast more than once, but I was listening to a great podcast, a radio show a while back, and they were talking about this subject in terms of, children and immunity and all the things. And the commentator said that pediatricians generally agree that the best way to um, ensure a healthy or a immune system in your baby is to give them an older brother. In
Right.
other words, somebody who'll go out, get dirty, stick their fingers in the baby's nose and mouth, and get
Get
on
'em
with it,
sick.
right?
I know,
Yeah.
exactly. I know my son here, he got sick so much as a baby and a kid, but now he's, like, bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like, he's just solid, like, he just never
Mhm.
gets sick anymore, but he was sick all the nosing running and just this and that and, like, all of whatever, like, everything you could think of, the rat like, this whatever he got, and now he's,
Yeah.
like, solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think and then I'd also just like to circle back to the germ phobia approach, which has basically taught people in the US, and I'm sure worldwide, that if you wrap anything and everything in plastic, you've created this germ barrier. So
I
we
know,
put our food into plastic bags, we put everything into plastic, we put dirty diapers into a plastic
I
container.
know.
Again, that goes in the landfill, it's anaerobic, it's so we've compounded and compounded and compounded. And now, we mention microplastics all the time, but what people don't understand about plastic is that they are starving the planet because they're taking up space in the guts of everything from microbacteria,
Right.
etc., to us and to huge whales. The biggest thing on the planet is being starved to death
Well,
because that microplastic is in the environment. It's going into the guts of the things that we eat and then into our guts and
right.
taking up nutritious space while also creating hormonal problems and all kinds of problems. So it's not just that there's a lot of it, it's many levels of how it makes an impact on everything around us and within us. So, any efforts we ever make to reduce its existence in the planet are important. And so, I
Yeah.
really want to appreciate you for taking this on and giving us something to work with. And I knew that mycorrhiza was being used in lots of applications for.
The decomposers. These are there's mycorrhizal fungi and the mycelium, you're probably talking about the mycelium?
Yeah, but also just the decomposers and that
Yes.
they're applications from oil
Yeah.
slicks to all the kinds of things, and unfortunately, for reasons I don't fully understand, never have since I was a child, and we had just as much pollution problems as they've only grown since I was a child in the 50s and 60s and 70s, that these things ought to become immediately ubiquitous whenever we've made a discovery that would be helpful to the planet. And for some reason, it just takes forever. I mean, we could have had electric vehicles decades upon decades ago, but as we know, large corporations that
I know.
suck out massive profits made sure that these technologies didn't become available to us when they could have and should have. So
There's so
cross
many.
fingers.
Yeah, there's hopefully, yeah. Like, I mean, I think it's about just getting creative now. It's like, how
Mhm.
can we get creative? How can we partner with nature, the most ancient technology that exists that has all the answers already anyways? It's just
Mhm.
waiting for us to be like, you ready yet? I got it
Yeah.
for you. Just like wake back up, you know? And
Mhm.
I think the next generation are more thoughtful for the planet. I think they do care more. Like I even think about like Tushy and Thinks. Like most people bought those products for themselves, not because it was
Mhm.
helping the planet. It was
Mhm.
elevating their experience. And so that's why with Hero, like we want to create the best diaper that was unbleached, that had all the non-toxic, still performed like it's 5 times drier than leading, up to 5 times drier than leading brands, up to 3 times, absorbs up to 3 times faster than leading eco diapers. So they're like, it's the best and only unbleached diaper on the market, which is crazy. And so that's why we want to make the best diaper, but then it comes with nature that can help, And so like, this is a part that people are like, okay, if it's a good diaper that performs and that's great, like this is like oh, by the way, but this is like the thing we've been working on for the
No,
last
this is the thing.
This is the thing. But like for most people, like, in the past, maybe it's going to change. They care. It has to be a good product too. It has to be both. Like it can't be like a crappy product that's good for the planet. It has to be both high performing and actually does the job too. So I do get that, but I do know from my experience over the last 20 years that, if you were to survey people, like they're buying for the planet, maybe like 5 or 7% of the people are buying it for that reason. The rest are buying it for their own benefit, which is fine. But hoping one day that people start to tune in to like the ecosystem consciousness more and more and more.
Yeah.
And for listeners who are very bought in, having heard this conversation, or maybe they're already aligned, what would be like our top 3 or 5 things that people could start doing right away? Like with that bigger picture in mind, like
Yeah.
small changes that someone's listening, they're like, oh, that's easy enough. I can make that change. What would that be?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is get a composter, like immediately yesterday. And if you don't want the ones with like bugs that are like silver that can collect fruit flies or whatever, then there's actually electric composters you can get for pretty cheap that
Like a countertop kind.
the countertop one, I put it underneath my counter and I just drop all my food scraps in there. Yeah. You can get a composter. You can get an electric composter from anywhere. And then I would say like literally vinegar and like or apple cider vinegar and water with just a little essential oil is a cleaning agent, is just like all you need. Like you don't really need more than that for cleaning.
Highly diluted.
Highly diluted.
Yes, water is the
Yeah.
universal solvent.
We'll
I
dig
know.
up a recipe for that. We'll put it in the show
I
notes. We'll
know.
find a
And then
recipe.
of
So
course,
that way you don't have to buy those spray bottles, right? You don't have to buy a plastic spray bottle every other week.
exactly. And of course,
Yeah.
get
You
a
can buy a glass one and a squirt.
Yeah, but the Tushy bidet is a hard plastic, but it lasts for years, and it's the thing that I cannot recommend enough to people for replacing your toilet paper consumption and reducing it by 80%. You're still using a couple of sheets to pat dry, but then we also have bamboo toilet paper that's not tree-free toilet paper.
And you don't have to use toilet paper.
You don't. You can use
I cut up fabric,
Yes.
old reusable sheets,
Especially if you
towels
have a bidet. Especially if you have a bidet, you
into
can just wash.
little
Yeah,
squares, and they're right in a basket, right where with a little washing, a
exactly.
little place to put them into the wash.
We sold butt
We
towels
do
for many.
not need to cut
We
down
don't.
trees or bamboo or anything
I agree.
to wash our butts.
I totally 100% agree. You just need a bidet. You could even just shake off and dry. It's fine too. Like that's,
Just
you know,
water. Yeah.
just water. Like that's why people are so excited about Tushy, because they're like, if there's a pandemic again, who cares? Because we have our bidet. Our Tushy's there. Yeah. So I would say, and then maybe there's this unpaper towels. You can replace all your paper towels with these cloths that can just last. It's called the unpaper towels. And it's just like little rags, but they're so easy to use. You just wash them. And so I've cut down my paper towel only for like really, really like yucky, gooey stuff. I'll use a paper towel. But outside of that, I've cut down my paper towel consumption by like 80%. And then composting, I don't throw any food scraps anymore. I have a bidet. And then I spray with like the natural sprays. It's really not hard to live an eco life and still feel high end and still aspirate. It's an aspirational experience, actually. Yeah.
There's a YouTube video of a young woman who decided to reduce her plastic trash over the course of the year, and she reduced her total plastic trash consumption to a little pint jar or
Yeah.
something very small. She kept everything that she couldn't, ethically throw away for a year and just made a very serious conscious effort to not get things in plastic. So when you go to the grocery store, Your carrots don't have to first go in a plastic bag
I
before they go in your tote bag. They can
I know.
just go
Go
straight into your tote bag.
That's right. That's totally right. That's so right.
So grocery stores, are I
I
don't
would go to
shop a lot of other places.
farmers markets. I started going to my local farmers markets, and you just bring a tote bag, and then you get local, fresh, seasonal produce that's much beneficial for your microbiome. It's better for the seasons. It's got all the nutrients that you need for that season. It's the way to shop. And so, I cannot recommend going to the farmers market too. That's another big, big, big one, is going to the
I
farm.
love that. And just to kind of carry on that one, if you're making baby food, what a great source for your baby food. You know it's local, it's organic.
Totally,
You
totally.
could make 3 months worth of baby food in one afternoon. You go home and you steam it and you blend it and you put it in reusable jars, put it in
100.
your freezer, and then you can just pop out cubes of stuff where you know exactly where it came from and it's trustworthy and it's delicious for your baby.
Exactly. Oh, and by the way, for all the listeners who are here, if you want to subscribe to Hero Diapers, we have like a $99 for life code. So you get all of your diapers, all of your wipes. We have unbleached wipes too, and all of the friendly fungi all together for the whole month for $99 a month. It's $25 a week. It's way cheaper than the luxury diapers, expensive, like those big ones, like way cheaper than that. $99 a month for life.
Our code is Fourth Trimester, FOURTH trimester. So
If you use Fourth Trimester as your code, you literally get $99 for life. And you get all of your diapers, all of your wipes, which are all unbleached, the only unbleached diapers out there with no toxic blue line, just the best diaper in the market. We work with local cotton farmers from local American cotton farms that they don't bleach any of their cotton either. And it comes with our friendly fungi for the month that are all non-toxic, safe, amazing. So, and it's $99 a month for lifetime of your baby. Hopefully you'll get them out of diapers as soon as possible, but use the code Fourth Trimester. We're so excited for you to try it.
Thank you.
we'll put links to the code and the link to use for that offer. Thank you so much. That's really amazing. And we were talking before the show, before we were recording, that, I've tried different brands before, and I really appreciate how simple it is to be able to just use the tab and throw it away. If these diapers had existed when my babies were still in diapers, I certainly would have used it. I think they're really, really beautiful product and very friendly for the parent and that experience, because parents have a lot on their plate, especially in those early days.
We call it one inspired action. It's just one inspired act. You just drop something in and you know that you are helping serve your baby's future. It's just like it feels, and it feels good to do that. And if you miss a day and you missed a change, it's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. Like it's, but as much as you can. Like we've had some of our Mill Valley moms, they're like never missed one, they're the best. Yeah, they're great.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Great.
Well, Miki, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Miki.
Yay. Thank you.
You can subscribe to this podcast in order to hear more from us. Thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope you'll join us next time on the Fourth Trimester. The theme music on this podcast was created by Sean Trott. Hear more at soundcloud.com/Sean Trott. Special thanks to my true loves, my husband Ben, daughter Penelope, and baby girl Evelyn. Don't forget to share the Fourth Trimester podcast with any new and expecting parents. I'm Sarah Trott. Goodbye for now.
Hello again, bicycle man. I know you're doing all that you can. I wrote the song, simple and true. I wrote the song, I'll sing a song for you. You got your wheels, you got your gears. You ride around town without any fear. You got your pedals, you got your brakes. You always wear your helmet for safety's sake. Hello again, bicycle man. I know you're doing all that you can. I wrote the song, simple and true. I wrote the song, I sing a song for you. Hello again, bicycle man. I know you're doing the best that you can. I wrote the song, simple and true. I wrote the song, I sing a song for you.